Hello, hello, Amber. We are live, large and in charge here on a
Yay!
Thursday night. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? You're looking
You
vibrant. You're
too.
looking good.
Well, look at you working the headband. I love
You
it.
know, I
What-
feel like I'm 12 years old again. I haven't worn a headband since I was 12, and I got
But
this from
it's
a
so
shop.
cute. Where did you get
I
it?
mean, this Lunar Liquidation, this amazing company that I shop with on the Whatnot app. And so this is a very designer headband that I got. It's like probably a $200 headband, and I got it for like $12 or something crazy. So anyway, I'm feeling young. I'm feeling sassy, but you're looking good. The lighting over there is looking good, even though it's an evening time, late night with Amber and Lacey.
Oh, yes, yes. Where's your wine? You always have wine when we do late nights, so
Girl,
you
are you
know.
kidding me? Hello. Yes, I have my way.
I didn't have to ask. You just had it right there. You weren't even ready for the question.
I'm a little embarrassed, but I won't say a word. It's fine. Anyway, if you are joining us live, my name is Lacey. I am your Las Vegas bestie, your relocation expert. I am here to help you figure out how to get from where you are to where you want to be, which is right here in my neon hometown, our neon hometown.
Yes.
Amber Coleman, you are what number are we ranked at this year, Amber? From a lender perspective, from a loan originator in the United States. Tell me the number, girl.
You want the female number or just all originators?
Both. Give me both.
So this is based on Scotsman Guide. They said I'm ranked number 43 in the nation.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why am I surprised, girl? I know. And wait, weren't you like over 100 last year? Wasn't it over 100 last year?
Yeah, I was. I can't remember what I
Oh,
was.
okay.
Was it 166 or something? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
So
we're improving. My computer.
2024 moved up to 43.
Oh, okay. So we're just, I don't know, getting better with age, with wine, like wine. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my computer because right now it's looking like it's not plugged in and it's gonna die on us. So let me do this. Do me a favor, Amber. Tell everybody what we're gonna be talking about today while I get off camera for a second and fix my computer. Can you do that for me?
Yep, we're going to be talking about must know mortgage tips for 2025. All the things that you need to know when you're getting a mortgage. So we're going to go in deep. Plus Miss Lacey always has her moving to Vegas, what's considered, all that fun stuff that we're going to be doing. And I'm sure she's coming back in a second. And then what's the
Are
difference
you
about getting a
nervous?
loan in Nevada? I'm like, come on, girl.
Girl, I'm trying to fix my
I'm
plug.
going to
It
give
won't.
away everything.
I
Huh?
think it's like completely crapped out. I'm gonna go turn it on. If you're tuning in live, this is what it's like to do live streams. Hold on one second.
Are you? She must be having to plug in her computer. So you guys might, if you have any questions, just drop it like it's hot right now because it's just me right
Like,
now until
why?
Lacey
This
gets
has
back.
never happened to me before.
Oh,
My computer is it's like it doesn't want to charge for me. I'm like not sure what's what. So I'm gonna change it out. Amber, while I'm doing this, I'm so sorry, but this is what's what. We do want you to drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. We want to know what questions you have for us. We are definitely trying to just make sure that if you are moving here, that you do it, smartly or wisely, if you will, that you're smart about it, that you also realize like we're here. This is our job. This is what we do. Amber, tell me, what is your take on the number of people who call us that actually are so scared of the idea of relocating, number one, but trying to buy a house in that process? Talk about that process and kind of what you do on your side to ease their fear.
okay. You're gonna fix your computer while I talk.
I'm doing that. Come on, I'm asking you to vamp. Vamp, vamp, vamp.
Okay, so okay, when you're moving to Las Vegas, when you're relocating, it's so scary, right? So most people are like, okay, so think about it. You're getting a new job, you're transferring here, you're getting letters saying you're working from home, you're moving to a new city. There's the most people can handle like one change within a period of life. You're being required to like change everything.
I did
You're
it.
Yay, are you plugged in right now?
Sorry. My computer was not it was almost like the plug was done. It was like, yeah, we're done charging your computer for the time being. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm at 8%. What happened? So go ahead, Amber. Sorry. So it is a scary thing though. Talk to me about like from a lending perspective. Relocating alone is a lot, but what you do on your team is so fascinating and so wonderful to me. It's such a beautiful service.
So okay, so when you're relocating, so here's the thing. There's people that will come to me and say, "I'm relocating. I know I need to work for a couple years." That's like a total myth. You
Right.
don't have to work in Vegas for a couple years. Most people will come with a job offer letter. So like they're working with at the place. Let's say you're coming from Oklahoma. I don't know why that's the first state that came to my mind, but it is, right? So let's just say you're coming from Oklahoma, right? And you have a job offer letter for either the same company you work with, they're just transferring you, or a new job to be able to start working in Vegas. We can close your loan on the job offer letter. So you don't have to receive pay stubs unless there's a question on like how many hours you're going to be working or something like that. You can close on a job offer letter. So that simplifies your life a little bit right there. Sometimes too, if you're selling a house there and then you're buying a house here, then there's that wait in between, and then you have to work on a lot of things at the same time. So it's kind of like a little bit of a juggling act to get it to happen simultaneously. But because we're so used to working with, like people that are relocating, we have it kind of down packed on how to do that.
Yeah.
How to get you there and here.
I think it's really cool. I didn't mean to be a relocation realtor. That was the furthest thing other than commercial. That was the furthest thing, which I do commercial now too, which is weird. But from my mindset, it didn't occur to me, but just with my content and what I would talk about, that's all I've received really over the years. I mean, I'm about 90 to 95% relocation type of clientele. So you and I, thank God for you in my life. I just have to say it out loud. Thank God for Amber in my life.
Girlie, come on. It's a team here.
Thank you. But you and I have worked so well together in the last 8 or 9 years, 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it is, to truly create an experience that makes it seamless for those out-of-state buyers. It's so scary already, right? You're choosing to uproot your entire family or yourself and your dog and your who knows whatever, right? You've already got your friends telling you you're crazy for moving to Vegas because they all will, or they're going to be like, where are you going to live? Isn't it hot? Or what are you going to live in a casino? Like nobody gets it, right? So you've got to convince them. That's a big hurdle. All those other things, getting your crap here, all the stuff. So you and I have just developed this beautiful experience and cadence over the years that I am so proud of. First of all, thank you. You've brought your amazing knowledge of the industry and being creative, ranked number what, Amber?
Number 43 in the nation, based on Scotsman Guide, number of loans closed.
Scotsman Guide ranks my sweet Amber number 43 in the nation of loan originators for a reason, because she busts her ass and she does it right. And she's creative. One thing I learned about you, Amber, when we first started meeting with each other and realizing like that we had a bit of a bond and that we wanted to do this, was that you don't take no for an answer. I always say Amber's like a dog with a bone. Ain't nobody gonna take that bone from her dog, or, So we have so many people that come to us that are, we just talked about it before we went live, that have been told no by another lender, that have been told not going to happen, or wrong information. And you're like, well, I don't believe in the word no. So we're going to go, yes. And not only yes, but yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. So, so thank you for making that creative process happen. And thank you for being so open with the content that we're sending out there regarding just, the facts about what it does take to buy a house when you relocate. The bottom line, and what I want to start with, the main thing is, now my light is bothering. Oh my Lord, guys, let me turn that off. Okay.
Is Mercury retrograde over at Lacey's house today?
Yes. It's like Lionsgate portal or something. Anyway, I'm not going to let any more stuff happen. My computer's now charging, so we're good to go. What I was going to say is, like, the bottom line is, let's start with lesson number 1. You can buy a home without having to move here. And you can also do it if you are moving here in the process. The real key, the key to everything is you have to find the right team. Now, clearly, I'm going to sit here and tell you we're the right team, because we are the right team, in my opinion. But you can determine that after you speak to me and after you speak to Amber, and we get that kind of process rolling. The bottom line, though, is a lot of you guys will call me and don't think it's possible. You don't want to rent for a year. You don't want to throw money away, but you don't even know where to begin, where to live, what to do. We not only will give you guidance on the area of town that we feel best fits the areas that best fit your needs and your vibe, and that are going to make you feel good at the end of the day, right? But we also are here to walk you through the hard process of having boots on the ground here. We are your boots on the ground. So it's about having the right team. And I'm trust me when I tell you, you can do this if you're not going to ever live here and you want to invest. You can also do this if you're planning to move here. You just have to start sooner rather than later. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be scanning the QR code in the corner and setting up a phone call with me, because there's no pressure, but there will be pressure if you call us too late, right? So we don't want pressure. We want fun and fireworks, right? It does make diamonds, but I don't want to make a diamond out of this. What?
I said stress-free. It's the
Stress-free.
judge-free and hopefully stress-free zone, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's make moving to Vegas in a nice little experience, not a rushed one.
That's the goal. That's definitely the
Yeah.
goal. Amber, can you talk a little bit about some of the common surprises that come up with when it comes to getting a loan in Nevada versus other places? So many people are moving here because of tax, benefits, obviously, or insurance and things like that. But a lot of people, don't know about grant money and that there's opportunity for them to still buy a home without having to live here for 2 years. Believe it or not, people are being told that. But beyond that, what are some things that people need to know about moving to Nevada when it comes to getting a loan?
Well, number one, if you're moving to Nevada and you don't have any money, there's every month I do so many grant loans. So like
Yes.
don't let that stop you. We can run numbers for both ways. I was just talking to somebody last night and they were like, "Well, I have a 401k and I have a grant. Sometimes that you have to weigh the numbers." So we went through both the numbers and they ended up taking out the 401k. So sometimes people forget too, 401k is like you're moving it from one investment to another.
Right.
So you're moving it from a retirement account to basically another retirement account, because what better thing can you have in real estate and retire? Like when you retire, that's a really good thing to have, right? So
Right.
like that's definitely one thing that's missed. And I keep getting, Lacey, where people think they have to put down 20%.
Why does
I'm like,
everybody think that, Amber?
well,
How
and
many times do we have to go online and say that's not the
yeah,
case?
I think it's because people are coming from California, but I keep getting it. Well, I don't have that big down payment down, so they don't even know about the grants. But then also, like that you don't have to have that huge amount down too. And then the other thing that I keep, like, when you sign up for leases, so when you come into lease, it's first month, it's last month, it's security. You're halfway to a down payment right there.
Yes,
Like
good
you
point.
really are halfway to a down payment. And the one thing that I've really been focusing on the last month when I'm going over like estimated payments and stuff is that you, when you're making, so there's a principal interest, there's a taxes, there's an insurance, and there's usually mortgage insurance if you don't put 20% down. That principal and interest, every dime of that is going to you, right? Well, depending on what tax bracket you're in.
Right.
Some of it you're paying down on your loan. So you're paying that principal to yourself. So you're paying your loan down to where you'll have it paid
Right.
off one day. The rest of it is tax deductible. It's a write off. So when you're comparing it to renting, most people forget that is tax deductible. So you're going to have that extra tax deduction on your taxes, which might make up the difference between buying and renting.
I didn't,
Um,
you know what? We need to go deeper on that subject in another live stream because that is
mhm,
key. And we haven't talked a lot about that, right? We say a lot of
mhm,
the other things, free money is out there. But the point you just made about, because most people will say, I'm going to rent for a year and then I'm going to buy, which I'm all about. That's
mhm,
your vibe and that's your
mhm,
plan. We'll help you find a rental and we'll
mhm.
stay in touch with you. But every time someone says, I want to rent, I don't hear the word rent. I hear the word flush.
I know, it's like a toilet.
Right? Just like when people go gambling in the casinos, I hear flush, flush.
Uh,
So for me, it's a little bit crazy for me for someone to watch our content for 4 or 5 years or 2 years or a year or a month to
mhm,
see how much knowledge and how much openness we are bringing to the world of real estate that so many others operate in a closed off manner, to not be able to lean in and trust that you think I'm going to let you buy a house that I wouldn't buy? Think I'm going to let you live in a neighborhood I
mhm,
wouldn't live in? So renting for a year makes sense if you don't have us on your side. 100% makes
mhm,
sense. If you don't have me in your corner, rent for a year, figure it out. Call me within that
mhm,
year so I can give you some guidance on where to go, but rent for a year and figure it out, right? At the end of
mhm.
the day, though, when you have me and you have Amber and you've got two of I think, some of the strongest um, and loudest, frankly, loudest advocates for home ownership when it comes to our beautiful neon hometown, and two people who have never been afraid to get online and say things, even if we didn't 100% know what was going to happen tomorrow. We are the people who are fighting for the best thing that's going to be for you in the outcome in the long run. We've told people don't buy now when they shouldn't have bought now, right? We're going to always say the right thing. But if you have us in your corner telling you which neighborhoods are going to fit your vibe, giving you the guidance on which houses are going to be a lemon or not, and then Amber helping you with loan programs, helping you be creative with your financing, helping you get into a house even if you just changed industries, and there's tying those two together and figuring out, like, there's so much creativity that we are bringing to the table on a daily basis. So I just wanted to scream from the rooftops, like, if you're thinking about moving here, renting first is a great option if you don't have us. But if you have us, shame on you for thinking that that's not enough. I love you. Prove me wrong. I'm telling you. I know that we do it right. We do it when we do it right. But you just said something that made so much sense to me, Amber. You said when you've got first month, last month, all these security deposits, you're halfway to a down payment. So imagine that money that you were going to have to spend anyway with a house that smells like God knows what, because the last guy was a smoker, or who knows what was going on in that house.
Exactly.
Or who knows, right? All of that to be said, not to dog on renting, but I'm making a point here that Amber has programs that can possibly make up for that other half. You just have to figure out if you qualify. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the P&I, talk again, say that again. When you're paying the PMI, I said P&I, PMI, is that right? The mortgage, is it
principal and interest, PNI?
Yes.
Yeah, principal and interest.
So I thought it was PMI. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I think you're just, because we did talk about PMI, but the principal and interest part, the big part of your payment.
I thought for some reason my brain was doing PMI. I'm also the girl that never got the lyrics right in any song I've ever sang in my entire life. So don't mind me. Yeah. But that to be said, like, so many people on our live streams are commenting saying, you don't want to pay PMI. Oh, PMI is good for you. It's a savings account, essentially. Talk about that again. That's really important.
Well, okay. So I was talking about PMI, is that what, because that's a totally different subject. I was talking about
No. Like I said, I'm the girl that gets the lyrics wrong. Talk about what you just
mentioned. Okay. So just think about, so if one day I'm going to do an amortization schedule so you can see the difference, right? So like you go to, let's say you have an interest rate, you go and it figures out what your payment is, principal and interest.
Yes.
Every bit of
I.
Yeah. Every bit of your principal pays towards your future. That's your future. You're paying that house down. You want to make extra principal, you can even work out your own life to pay it off at some point, pay it way down so you could do things in the future. You can plan all kinds of things. But the interest still is a benefit to you because you can write that off on your taxes. So like everything that you're paying in that section, some people are like, well, it's not going down fast enough. I think it's a lost talking point where people say, hey, you could write this off. For some reason, the last month I've been really focusing on the payment just to kind of make sure people understand it. And I'm really finding that I'm surprised at how much people don't realize that you actually have a write-off when you own a house and you don't have that renting. So like by the time you work out, I mean, I'm not an accountant, so I can't give you like tax advice on it, but I can tell you, you are going to get something from the mortgage company saying, here's what you can write off at the end of the year by the time you finish that payment.
And the other PMI, which is the other thing that everyone's trying to have you avoid, right? If you don't put 20% down, or if you don't have a certain percentage down, that's still, in my opinion, an amazing thing, because if you look at the cost of waiting, right? So you can wait. We've done this before. We'll do it again. If you look at the cost of waiting, PMI, primary mortgage insurance. Did I say it right? Okay. Are you sure? Am I saying it right? Because if not, you better tell me. I'm not in lending for a reason, guys. This is why I have.
You did good.
Anyway, both P and I, your principal and interest, beautiful way to say that. People don't realize those things, but PMI, which is the primary mortgage insurance, is a coverage for you so that you can get in to the market, and not have to wait for you to save that money, that whatever you're paying for that, the PMI, the mortgage insurance that covers that gap, so that you can get into the market while things are appreciating. The longer you wait to save up that money so you can get that 20%, the more money, in my opinion, and I know because the numbers don't lie, you're losing in equity possibility as long as the market is still moving. So we've done some really cool calculations. So both P and I and PMI, which we're going to stop talking about in about 3 seconds, are both really important and both beneficial to you, in my opinion, in the long run. So, all right, let's get off of the fact that Lacey can't keep her acronyms and all of that.
But do you want me to say my opinion about PMI now, since we're talking about PMI? So PMI, before we had mortgage insurance, right? Like way long ago, before our lifetimes, right? You had to put down a large down payment on a house. PMI makes it, or mortgage insurance makes it possible for us to put down smaller down payments.
Yep.
Without that extra insurance on there, the banks wouldn't have the ability, because that actually insures the bank in
Yep.
case you go into foreclosure. So that's what gives the banks the confidence to lend to you.
Yep.
So it's a definite good thing. And you're right. If you wait until you have that 20%, you just miss the whole market,
Yeah.
because now the housing continues to go up, because we all need a place to live.
Yeah.
And as rent goes higher, it just makes housing more
Yeah.
attractive.
It's almost like the only insurance policy, in my opinion, that actually does something for you, because I'm not a fan of insurance in general, but it feels
Yeah.
like for me, it allows you to get your foot in the door. And so people who come on our live streams and they're like, but PMI, if you don't put 20% down, you're going to have to pay PMI, primary mortgage insurance. Cool. So you'd rather pay that $100 a month or whatever that number is, $200 a month, that's included in your mortgage, by the way, to some bozo who owns the house, who's you're paying his mortgage instead. Like, those things don't, to me, make sense. And all the while you're waiting to save that money to avoid PMI, not only is this guy making money on you paying his mortgage for him, you're losing out because you're becoming further and further away from the house that you could have purchased for possibly a lower price and be building that equity. So there's just a lot of ways to look at it. I know this is a lot of like acronyms and a lot of circular conversation, but the bottom line is, we're always going to bring honesty to the forefront for you. And we're always going to be the ones who tell you kind of what's the right thing, in our opinion, from the years of experience that we have. I'm clearly not a lender for a reason. I have a smart lender next to me who guides on that front, but I am an expert when it comes to the city, the area, the amenities, and what you can get from this experience moving here. So I think the two of us really can partner. If you can't tell, this is an infomercial for both of us today. I'm on one. It's Mercury, God, I don't know, retrograde of some sort. And I'm just so tired of hearing so many people just believe it's not possible. And I'm just here trying to scream from the rooftops that it's more than possible. So thank you for giving us that. Yeah. Couple things that I wanted to bring up, and it's just run through them real quick. It's mortgage tips that you guys need to know if you are relocating. Number one, please do not wait until you are in Las Vegas to start the process. Don't do it. And don't wait until 2 weeks before you need to move. Now, let me
Makes
say
it
that
a little hard. Makes it
now.
a little hard if it's 2 weeks before you have to move.
Yeah. So there isn't a QR code in the corner. I know I'm a little wacky today and I'm all over the place and lots of energy, but the goal is to let you realize we're excited and we're really passionate about this for a reason. There's a QR code in the corner. Amber and I would love to chat with you. Amber's phone number's on the screen. You can contact her. You can contact me. You're going to get both of us. Okay. You're going to get both of us. The bottom line is we really, really want to talk to you sooner rather than later. I have people calling me 7 to 10 years in advance of them moving. And I love it. I love the
It's
conversation.
so
It's my favorite.
fun. Because then you get to watch the whole journey too. So it's cool watching you go from one to another, or start somewhere with credit and then find your way to get your. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Reach out. Reach out.
I need friends, guys. Can you tell I'm a wackadoodle, so I need a few friends.
You
So
have more friends than anybody I've ever seen, and you always have room for more. It's a beautiful thing.
I build
You
a
always
longer
have room for
table is
more.
what I do. I build a bigger table. Don't assume that the bank or out-of-state lender is your best option. Hello. I'm not saying that because Amber's on here. I could make her go away off the screen and say this as well, and she'd never hear me. I'm letting you know the bank and the out-of-state lender is almost never the right option. And I'm not going to say always never, because sometimes, it might work out. Yeah. Having an in-state lender, someone like Amber, who is an expert on this state, or someone who's licensed to focus on this state, is super important because of all those free money programs. Talk about that, Amber.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're dealing with somebody out of state, number one, you have the appraisals are always a problem, right? Because you're to try to find a company that's from out of state, find an appraiser, they're going on Google or whatever to find the appraiser to put it with, it becomes a nightmare, and then you run into those kind of problems. Number two, if you're doing grants or any specialty programs for Las Vegas, you're dealing with somebody that's on the job training. They're getting the training on what that program requires while they're guinea pigging your file. So if they run into any problems that I would already know off the top of my head, because I'm working with these grants, I'm working with the new grants, I'm seeing the new stuff that's coming into the state every day, so I already know the ins and outs of it. So I find people get themselves into way too much trouble by working with somebody that's out of state just because that's where it was comfortable for them. But then I end up having to save it 2 weeks into it then they're in a rush or something like that. just because, and then they're kind of like, I wish I would have never listened, but it's always good to be working with somebody who's local to that
Yeah.
area.
Amber
Mhm.
also, she's being, I'm turning off this light because it's blinding me. She's being coy, but I will say saving the deal is Amber's middle name. Amber saving the deal Coleman has saved more deals from other lenders and builders lenders than any other agent, or sorry, any other lender that I've ever worked with ever in the history of this industry. It's insane to me. And the fact that
Wait, you're making my head all big today.
you
Look at you.
I love
Thank
you.
you.
But the bottom line is it's true. I've watched it happen. That's why I was like so excited to be able to have you kind of pour into me the way you have and to our clients. So thank you for doing that. The other thing is that banks work Monday through Friday. Banks work till 5 p.m. on the nose. And at the end of and this real estate business of ours is a 7-day-a-week kind of job. Amber's available 7 days a damn week. And if we need to get something done, we get it done. And so banks can make it very difficult to stay within our timelines. And that's really, 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 really important to keeping a deal set and moving forward. The next one I was going to say is understand your loan program and options like lock and shop and other options for you. I bring that up. The lock and shop program is an Amber program that her company offers on top of thousands of others. I don't want to go deep on this, Amber, but I just wanted to say like understanding what you are getting by utilizing the programs that you're bringing to the table is super important for buyers. Would you agree?
Yeah, and that's why we do these lives, so you guys understand it before you even call us. Like I love how you mentioned lock and shop too. So as you see rates go down, sometimes you're like, "Ooh, they're going down, but I'm not going to be able to buy a house in time." You can lock it and then go shopping for your mortgage or for your loan so that you don't have all that stress. See, it's about judge-free and stress-free zone right here, okay? We try to bring
Judge-free,
it all to
stress-free.
you.
Remember
Yeah.
back in the day when we were doing these live streams during COVID when nobody else would say a word about anything because they were all afraid they were going to say the wrong thing. And we were like, we're the ding, judge-free zone, ding, like we
Uh-huh.
did the thing on the screen. That was my favorite. For those of you who are watching live, we're going to answer your questions in a few minutes. There's quite a few, so please drop it in the comments below. We're super excited. I'm really, really stoked to have you guys here live. If you don't know this, I'm going live every Monday through Friday in the month of August.
You are kicking it, girl.
I'm a little wacky. It's actually loosening me up in a way that I never realized it would. I was on live stream last night answering just rando questions from 10:30 to almost midnight, and I had a blast, and I'm going to do it again a couple times. So stay tuned. Amber's going to be still going live with me. Amber's not going anywhere. We might do some fun different things. We got some surprises coming, but all that to be said, ask us questions. And Amber, this is probably the first time I'm seeing mostly questions in our comment box. This is amazing. This is super fun.
I know, love it.
Last couple things I wanted to mention is understanding your anticipated upfront costs is a really important process. So again, the goal of us today is say, these are things you need to know to not mess up your loan and to do this right if you're coming from out of state, right? So don't wait till you're in Vegas to start the process. Call us sooner rather than later. Don't assume that your bank or your out-of-state lender is going to be the key. I'm going to tell you right now, that girl that's looking at you with the red hair has the golden key, and she usually can turn it and turn it well. And that's just all I'm going to say on that. Understand your loan programs and understand why working with someone like Amber, who has one of the biggest national, if not the biggest national lending company behind her, offering programs nobody else is offering, super duper important. Understand those anticipated upfront costs. Amber, will you give us a very high level, very generalized rundown of what people can anticipate outside of down payment?
Okay, so closing costs. You have the lender fees. If you're paying points for your points are like percentage to be able to get your rate down. So if you're trying to do that, you have that's including your closing costs. You have processing, you have underwriting, and then you have like appraisal fees, you have title fees, you have taxes, insurance, and if there's an HOA, you have HOA fees. So when you add all that up together, that's all your closing costs. So a lot of times when you're going out looking, that's where we're saying, hey, can you ask the seller if they can pay this in closing costs or this? Is it possible to do this? That way it can help reduce some of those costs because they do all add up in the end. But now, yeah, for you to see everything is good.
Listing those one by one gives me a heart attack because it sounds like, oh no,
I can see the anxiety going up on your face as I was talking.
No, it's not anxiety. But what I want to say is it averages it to be what, 1 to 2% of the 1 to 3% of the purchase price, would you say on average?
It depends on, like, if it's 1%, it's because you have a high loan amount. So it's eating it up. But like usually it averages out about 2%.
Okay. So if you're buying a house for 300,000, 2% of that is what you can anticipate in addition to your down payment, unless you're doing a down payment program or assistance program. What Amber
Mhm.
touched on is right now is the juiciest, crunchiest time I've ever seen in our industry, except for a few months, like in the middle of COVID. This is
Before
pretty
COVID,
juicy,
yeah.
crunchy. And
Yeah.
because the rates are a little bit higher now, but all that to be said, we have a situation where we can negotiate a lot of that to be covered on your behalf. So it's
Yeah.
not guaranteed, but a deal is always to be had, and that's why having a good team on your side is super important. So, so understand those fees. The other fees that I would say would be inspection. You need to have an inspection done on the house. That's usually between $400 to $600, sometimes a little more. That's a really important fee, and you want to make sure you pay for that. And that's not something you're having somebody else pay for. Having the appraisal done anywhere from what, $400 to $600, anywhere around there, Amber?
Usually it's up over six. Yeah, usually it's up over 600, depending
Is
on the
it
local
now?
guy.
Gosh, I haven't done an
Mhm.
appraisal in a while, so it's up over 6 now,
Mhm.
but that's
Mhm.
making sure for the bank and for you that you know you're buying a house that's worth what you're paying for it. So,
Yeah, the
amazing.
bank's gonna require that you have an appraisal. There
Yeah.
are some loans though, like today I just ran one. She's putting down a significant down payment. So
Mhm.
the system gave an appraisal waiver. So there are
Right.
times that you can get a waiver, but yeah, you're looking over $600 for appraisals right now.
Absolutely. All right,
Mhm.
last couple I'm going to run through quickly, and then we're jumping into your questions, guys. So you better drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. If you want to talk to either Amber or I, or just frankly, if you want to talk to us, period. I know you do. Like if you're watching us, I know you want to talk to us. Do us a favor. I don't care if you're moving now or 10 years from now, scan that QR code on the screen. Let's talk now. I'm stoked to meet you. If you're coming in town to look around, I have some tools that I can give you that'll help this be a fun experience. Let's talk. That's all I have to say. Let's talk. Let's do coffee talk. The last few things I want to make sure that you know are super important is do not under any, my eyes are rolling in my head. Do not under any circumstances assume that you know and understand this market, the real estate market, by watching Zillow or realtor.com or seeing price reductions or watching the news or watching some realtor on YouTube who's pretending to be a realtor, but really is just trying to be a YouTuber who's saying whatever he needs to say or she needs to say to get you to click so they can become a YouTuber and not a realtor. Please, please, please don't assume that you know the market. I do want you to educate yourself. Very important. But please know that there's a lot of caveats and a lot of nuance to all those things that you're seeing online. And most of them are related to people making money when you click the button and nothing more.
Mhm.
So keep that in mind. Stay communicative with your lender and your agent team. That's a really big thing. Don't make those mistakes. You have to know those tips. These tips are really important. Open community. Like if something changes, let us know immediately. And now we don't want to
Mhm.
know if your bird passes gas, clearly. Like that's not really exciting for us, but we definitely would like to know if, I don't know, your house fell through and we have to wait and make some adjustments on our side, or if your date of moving changed, or if your date or if you don't want to move at all, or if like you're really not happy about XYZ. Like staying open lines of communication is probably the most paramount thing. What do you
Here's
think?
another one from my world too. This just hit me today. If you're married, state that you're married. Because
Yes.
that's
Even
a
if you're
big deal
leaving
in
to go to
Nevada.
Vegas to not be married anymore, if you're still married, you got to tell us you're married.
If
Yeah.
you haven't, yeah, if you're married, state that you're married. Like, because that's a big deal in Nevada, community property state. So just laying it out there, just because I just was dealing with that today. Okay.
I know someone that we personally are friends with who had that happen at their closing table that we weren't really, oh, wow, you didn't tell us that. That's an interesting thing. So, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Let us know if
Yeah.
you're married. The biggest thing, too, to not mess this up from a mortgage tip perspective is when you're moving, a lot of big purchases need to happen a lot of times. You got to pay for to ship your car. You got to pay for the movers. You got to pay for new furniture. Moving is an expensive experience. I have tips that can make it less experience, but regardless, it's expensive. And so, do not make large purchases or charge up those credit cards while you're in the process of qualifying to buy a home or in the process of buying a home. That can make and break the deal. Am I right, Amber?
Yes. Do not do it. Do you see my exhaustion when you just talk
Yeah.
about it right now?
Yeah.
So lenders, when you're doing a loan, will do a soft credit pull before you close to make sure no new debts have hit. Not
Yeah.
every loan program does that, but some of them do.
Yeah.
So just don't make any purchases while you're in the transaction.
Right.
I had one client, this was years and years ago, but she went and bought a Louis Vuitton for like thousands of dollars, and her debt ratio was like to the penny. We didn't have any room to do anything else. and that threw up. I was like, you got to go take it back. You have got to go take the purse back. Sorry, return policy right here. And then show me a receipt that you took it back. I have so many horror stories I can tell. Just don't buy anything while you're in the transaction.
Yeah. These are things that we will talk about on the phone with you guys. So this isn't like save this. Obviously, please save this live if you want. This has been a little bit off the rails, but it's okay. It's about knowing that we're here for you and knowing that we're always going to give it to you straight. Like, and I'm going to have this kind of energy when we talk probably. So depends on what kind of day I'm having, but today's one of those days. So if you are interested in moving to Vegas, or you're even just kind of playing with it, or you want to invest, we work with a lot of investors. Please, for the love of everything, scan that QR code. Let's set up a conversation. I don't care when you're moving or if you're moving. I just want to know what you're thinking, because I don't want people who don't want to live here moving here. I don't want people who just aren't sure of the process, kind of going about it on their own. I really just want to bring guidance as much as I can. And I want to connect you with the right people who I have vetted very closely over the last 7 or 8 or 9 years, like Amber, and who I've aligned with, who I believe are some of the best in the business. So thanks for trusting us with your time today. All right, let's jump into those comments here. Gallagher says, peace and love. Cute doggy Gallagher. Official 908 says, Lacy Cakes. Hey, Lacy Cakes is here. Let's see here. David Grana says the Fed is cutting September. What do you think, Amber? Have you heard that the Fed's cutting in December, he says? Probably December as well. Hey, David, what a cutie pie. Watching from
We can all hope so, David. We can all hope so. I mean, that's what the speculation is, that they're going to be cutting, but we can all hope so. We'll be cheering on probably on a live when they do it. So
yeah, for hell yeah, I'll do a backflip. And P.S. all that inventory that everybody thinks we have and all that people are fleeing Las Vegas is going to dry right up the minute those rates come down. Just FYI.
That's the hard thing. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, David's kind of cute. He's over here on LinkedIn watching us live. Hey, David, how you doing? Anyway, Corrales Cruiser says hello from New Mexico. Tax deductible only if you itemize. Is that correct? Good question. A good question. You were talking about the P and I, not the PMI. Yeah. How does that work, Amber?
Well, the only thing is I can't give tax advice. I could tell you that it's tax deductible, the interest that you pay, but I can't give any tax advice or even how it works. But talk to your accountant about that.
Here's what I'll put. I'll put this up here. Your actual rate, payment, and cost could be higher. You need to get an official loan estimate. This is our very long, very legalese kind of disclaimer that we have to put up here for everything that we do and talk about on this. Like Amber's legal team smacked me a little bit once because I wasn't including that on a video, and I was like, I didn't know I had to. So here we are. All right, Adventures of Mason. Here's what I'm so excited about this. Hold on, I just saw this. Mason and Henderson. I finally get to say that. Woo, woo. Welcome to my hood, my friend. He said, hey, Lacy and Amber. Hey, Mason. Looking good too, man. Mason's good looking too. We have a good looking audience. I'm actually really excited about that. I think I need a date. I haven't been on a date in a while. I think I need a date. Leolo says, ladies, could you please restate the minimum down payment percentage for conventional and FHA loans? Would you mind doing that, Amber?
Okay, so FHA loans minimum down payment is 3.5% of the purchase price. And then conventional, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can put as little as 3% down. Yeah.
Sorry, you didn't say 20. You said as little as 3. Let's just like.
As little as 3. People always think conventional is 20% down, but nope, not 20%. No. I mean, you could put down 20%. You can avoid mortgage insurance, but let's just talk and run scenarios.
That's just talk. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Corrales Cruiser says it was PIA to get the bank to eliminate my PMI back in the day. Oh my God, the acronyms today are killing me. And when values were coming down in 2009, I really fought them to drop it. Good for you. So yeah, we'll talk more about PMI, PNI. You know what? We'll do a whole acronyms, A, B, C, D, E, F, G kind of title for one of our next live streams. We'll explain what all of these things mean to you. We'll go retro and rudimentary because I think I might need a new lesson. I'm still confusing PMI and PNI and PNI and A, B, C, D, E, F, G and TLC and don't go chasing waterfalls. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right. Leolo, does your FICO score affect the minimum down payment percentage for conventional and FHA? Good question.
Yes, the FICO score. Well, so FHA, if you have like a 580 or above, it's really the same down payment on it. Conventional, though, definitely because the conventional has an automated system. They go based off of a lot of different things. They say they go down to a 620, but it really depends on the debt ratio and then a lot of things. So like conventional is definitely a lot more picky than FHA is when it comes to that.
Right. Awesome. Good answer. I want to just pause for a minute and first of all, fix my hair because I'm like feeling like a 12-year-old girl with this headband. No, I really just want to say thank you to everyone watching tonight. We've got a really active community tonight, and most of this is questions, and these are solid questions that I feel like I should pay you for asking. So thank you. Such a great conversation to our live stream. Even with my wacky wildness today, we're getting some good juice out of this. Thank you, Leolo. Amazing question. This is another good one. Adventures of Mason, cutie pie over here on YouTube watching us. So although I have purchased a home before, I didn't get a loan. I just paid it off. So technically, this will truly be my first time purchasing a home. Is it hard for first-time home buyers? I'm going to add to his question, Amber, is not only is it hard for first-time home buyers, number one, we can both answer that, but number two, what makes you a true first-time home buyer? Because so many people think one and done, but let's talk about that.
So if you haven't owned a house for 3 years, you're a first-time home buyer. Right?
Officially for 3 years. Now you're new. It's like brand new. Like we forgot about the past, right?
For 3 years. So no, it's not hard for first-time home buyers. Now the benefits that first-time home buyers get is that you have all these grants open up to you, right? But like and then you have like conventional that offers certain programs like lower down payment for first-time home buyers. If you're under a certain income, then you have lower rates for certain first-time home buyers programs on conventional, but it's not hard to get. It's not hard to get these programs. The biggest thing is most of them look at your income, and then we always have to look at the debt ratio and down payment too.
Yep.
So
yep.
No, let's talk and look at first-time home buyer programs. It's my favorite subject.
Listen, hope of home ownership. I had to turn my light back on. It's going to give me a headache. Hope of home ownership is what we're here to bring you guys, and first-time home buyers are the best. Honestly, all home buyers are the best, but first-time home buyers are a very special segment that we really do love to serve. So Mason from Henderson, I'm so excited. That's been a long time coming. We need to talk. He says, no worries. I literally do not know anything about the market. Hell, I don't even know the kind of house I want. I just want a good kitchen. I love to cook. He's cute and he loves to cook. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Alan is amazing. I had a great call with Alan, and he's been working with both you and I, Amber, on getting ready to buy a house. We're so excited to work with you. How about you do a live stream at
Alan's
a new build?
A long time follower, aren't you, Alan?
Alan's been following us both for years. I believe it's been a couple of years with an S. And had a beautiful call with him. And then Cody, who works with me, helps me with some of our showing team and some of our back end stuff. He had a great call with him. He's like, Alan's going to be a great client. I'm like, he's already a great client. It's been amazing. It's been really good. He says, how accurate are the mortgage calculators on different websites and apps? I've always wanted to ask this question, and I always forget to do it. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Amber, how accurate are those?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to put a mortgage calculator to put on an app, but here's what's not accurate about it. So when you go to do like an FHA loan, you have to add certain things to the loan amount to be able to get the true payment. Plus then you have mortgage insurance and you have taxes and insurance. So by the time you're like, wait, my calculator said this, because you have to add all these things to it to get the true payment on there. So the calculators just really are there to figure out your principal and interest payment. Not the rest of it. So it's accurate for principal and interest, but you got to add money for taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, all that fun stuff. So.
And I'm making this face because there's a lot of people who will get pre-qualified by like Rocket Mortgage. I don't know if that's even the right name. I'm making things up, but they'll get pre-qualified and they'll say, oh, I'm already ready. I'm pre-qualified. And I'm like, where'd you do that? Oh, I did it on those mortgage calculators. And they didn't talk to anybody. They just filled out an app. Like it was all digital, which I know the world is moving to and has been moved to. And that this industry doesn't really want to let go of the reins of like physical contact needing to be a thing. But having an online pre-approval versus someone like Amber, who actually is doing the actual back end work, will save your deal from being canceled halfway through because it wasn't done right or it wasn't done, period. So things like that on top of those. So those calculators are great for an idea. But to your point, Amber, they don't ever give you the full picture. So, but fun to play with for sure.
Yeah.
Adventures of Mason, I think you're flirting with me. He said he loves my hair. Love you too. Thank you. Okay. Leolo, are you allowed to receive money as a gift to use as a part of a down payment? What are red flags from lenders' perspectives? What financial history do we have to be wary of as prospective borrowers? Leolo, I could kiss you right now. What a great question.
Look at you. I love it. Okay, are you allowed to receive money as a gift? You know what? Thank you for asking this question, because when we were talking about things, like to look for or whatever, this is one thing that most people just don't realize, and I'm always having to say this too. Yes, on conventional loans, FHA loans, NVA loans, you can receive gift money for a down payment. Now, most of the time they look at gifts as family members. On FHA loans, though, they have a section where it can be a close friend. You just have to put a
Nice.
letter of explanation, like the relationship and why they would give you money. They basically just want to make sure it's not like a loan that you have, right? But
Right.
you can receive money as a gift for a down payment. Um, and so the red flags, we can talk about that depending on who you're getting the down payment from. That's where it would be if it looks like somebody that you're getting it from that is actually going to give you a loan instead of a gift. That's kind of the red flags. That's where you have to put a letter explaining it if it's not family.
Well, Leolo actually added more to that, saying, for example, if someone has mattress money that they dump into their savings account to help with the down payment, will that get flagged? There's a way around that. Let's talk about it.
So on a gift, right? The person that's giving you the gift is gonna send it that we're gonna give them a gift letter, and the two of you are gonna fill it out, right? If they send the money directly to the title company, then as the lender, we just verify the gift letter and that the money's been received from the title company with the proof of the wire receipt. So
Right.
then you're not getting a lot of other paperwork. Now, if you take that gift and you put the money directly in your bank account, then as the lender, we have to ask the person that gifted you the money for a copy of their bank account, and we have to look at their bank statement. So if you send it directly to title if you have the person that's gifting the money send it directly to title, there's less paperwork asked for, so there's less things to look at. Sometimes gifters are very reluctant to being able to provide their bank statements. So thankfully, FHA and conventional have a way of just looking at the wire receipt to show the gift coming in. And that way we don't have to look at the bank statement. So you avoid that.
Do you guys see like why I work with Amber? There's always a yes at the end of the day. So what I love is the way you ask this question is what are red flags from a lender's perspective, and what do we need to be wary of? It's yes, we want to be clean on the walk-in. Yes, we want everything to be perfect, but it's never perfect, right? And Amber is one of the only lenders that I've worked with that doesn't back down from a fight. Like you need that? Oh, we got it, right? We figure it out. What I also love about you, Amber, is that like none of what you just said that the answer would be no to the loan. It was, oh, we just have to provide this. Oh, we just have to provide that. It's never yes or no, right? And I think that's really important to keep in mind when you're thinking about it. What financial history do you need to have to be wary of as prospective borrowers? So meaning like what do you ask for? I think it's 2 years of 2 years of taxes. What else is like kind of needed from the walk-in when it comes to getting a loan
Well,
approved? Sorry for my
and so
camera stuff.
financial history. So when it comes to taxes, the only time you're really providing tax returns is if you're self-employed. So other than that, we're going to need 2 years of W-2s, and then a month's worth of pay stubs, 2 months assets. A lot of times we can get that information too from what's called a verification of employment. So if you're, because sometimes like in Vegas, we run through this a lot where a lot of people are tip earners, right? So we
Yes.
order a verification of employment because the tips are considered variable income. So we have to average over a period of time, depending on the loan program. So it
Yeah.
depends on really what your income is and how you do it. If you make a lot of commission, then we have to average that commission over a period of time too. Tips are
Right.
the same way, bonuses are the same way, but your base, if you get like a base salary plus bonus, we take your base and then we average your bonus
Right.
because that can vary depending on production. So,
Yeah.
but basic financial information, tax returns, I only usually require them. Okay, so let me rephrase that. If you're doing a FHA conventional VA loan, you're only really required to get them if you're self-employed or you own other rental properties or something that would lead us to have to look at taxes to figure out your income. Jumbo loans, so if you're over that 806 and change, then a jumbo loan most of the time always will require tax returns to be given. So it kind of is dependent on what type of loan you're doing too.
I can't keep P and I and PMI straight. So there's a reason I'm not doing loans. Listen to all the stuff you have to keep straight.
We need you to keep Vegas straight, right? We need you to keep knowing where to show them in Vegas and what houses are here, all the deals that are out there. Like, you got your part and you do a great job at it.
I know I do. I'm a damn expert at what I do. You be an
Yes,
expert at
you
what you do.
are.
This is
Yes,
why
you
we're
are.
partnered. I'm loving that it's getting dark and my computer is making me look, and this light is making me look crazy. So let's do the last few questions. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you don't know this, Amber Coleman is ranked number.
Well, I have to say this before I say this. Based on Scotsman Guide, number of loans closed per like 2024, I'm ranked number 43 in the nation.
43 in the nation. 43 in the nation. I need like a popper to like go up. 43 in the nation. I work with only the best. She is the best. Amber is insanely amazing. And so I just want to thank you, Amber, for always giving us your time, your energy, and your knowledge. It is, I wish if I do ever become a lender, I better be one underneath you, because your wing is the only one I want to be under. You are so amazing at what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody tuning into us. We've got two or three more questions here I want to answer, but I just want to say thank you. If you don't know this, I'm going live Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday in the month of August. I'm a little
every day.
Every day. Last night I was live till almost midnight. It was super fun. I did a little live late night with Lacey kind of vibe. It was so fun. I had like 80 people in there at one point in time, and it was really, really cool because I was getting a lot of really good questions that weren't just about home ownership. So if you are not already subscribed to both of our channels, do it now, immediately, on all the things, and support us, and come and watch me. I'm going a little haywire doing this every single day. I'm not going to lie. So like, if you can't tell, I'm a little frenetic. The energy's a little up, but the energy's up for a good reason. And it's because I'm excited, and it's really bringing me a new inspiration about talking about what we talk about. We have never been quiet. We've always been loud, and I'm happy to get louder. It's exciting.
Love it.
Okay, a couple more questions. We've got like three more. Here we go. One person said, are there a lot of, hi, Tim. Oh my God, what a cute picture. Oh my God, look how cute they are. Are a lot of mid-century homes in the market that have been flipped in decent areas of Vegas? Thank you, ladies. Thank you for asking this question. You are after my heart, my friend. Mid-century modern homes are my ultimate dream. My ultimate dream, just so everyone knows, I'm stating it on live, is to own a vintage Vegas home and have it be Don Draper style, my friends. Cause like, I'm kind of working in the January Jones vibe here from Mad Men. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, the Don Draper mid-century modern Mad Men vibe of a house is my vibe. The problem with that in Las Vegas is they are only located in the vintage neighborhoods, which I love. And I've vetted and I've lived down there, and they're amazing, but they're all downtown. So when people move to Vegas, they do a lot of research saying, well, Summerlin and Henderson are the only two places I should move, right? Well, yeah, but if you want to, not really, but yeah, if that's your research, if you want a mid-century modern home, if you don't want a tract home, if you don't want something that is, anything other than mid-century modern, and that if you want something with character, you're going to have to live in the center of town and in some of those vintage neighborhoods that are amazing. So yes, there are a lot of those, but they're and decent areas. That's a conversation we can have offline. Decent areas needs to be refined and defined by you for me to understand. You are not dodging bullets in those areas. You are not worried about who's walking up behind you in those areas, but they are not the essence of Summerlin or Henderson, which is all that's being marketed about Vegas. So I've lived downtown. I would live in a mid-century modern, beautiful Las Vegas historic home today in a heartbeat, tomorrow in less than a heartbeat. But it depends on what you're comfortable with. So I would love to chat with you about that. So Tim, you and whoever that cutie pie is in the photo, you should scan the icon, the QR code on the screen, and set up a phone call with me. Let's talk. I'd love to talk with you. Diamond Hand says, I wanted to move to Vegas so much, but the skyrocketing home prices have turned me away. Diamond Hand, skyrocketing from what? Where do you live currently? And what were you expecting? Let's talk. I'm not here to convince you to move here, but I'm here to just maybe reframe your perspective. Amber can help you do the same. Skyrocketing has slowed down, thank God. If rates do drop, that will be a different conversation. So we'll talk about that. But we are not that much more expensive than we were a year ago, and we're not that much more expensive than we were 2 years ago. We've actually been, it's a steady climb, and it just depends on what your price point is, babe. There's always a deal to be had, right, Amber?
There's always a way. Let's talk. Let's figure out where you're at and where you're going to be and what the future holds. Let's just set a vision for life. That's what we do. Okay. That's what we do.
Yep. I love it. Brad says, thank you for doing these live videos. Another cutie pie. We have the best looking freaking audience on the internet. The best looking audience. Brad DC says, thank you for doing these live videos. Such useful information. You guys are still learning, even with my sporadic craziness. I love this. This is amazing. Adventures of Mason says, this will be my last message because I don't want to bug you. You're never bugging us, but I will always compliment your hair. But my goal is to purchase my now by June 2028 around my birthday with 15% down. And that's the plan. Mason, beautiful plan. Amber, how do you feel about that?
Let's work that plan. I say let's talk now so we can figure out like what are the prices going to be in 2028? Is your 15% now going to be 10% or 5%? You know, like you don't know those things. So I say let's work that plan. And if it does end up being 2028, great. But let's just work the plan so that you
we don't pressure, we don't judge, and we don't stress. We don't pressure, we don't judge, we don't stress. Isn't that like the you is kind, you is thoughtful, you, like that the help, the movie, the help in the book? Like I feel like I'm saying that we listen and we don't judge, we don't pressure, we don't stress, and we certainly do not want you to feel stressed. And none of this should be bad or hard. So Mason, the sooner you call us, the better. So by calling us doesn't mean we're going to pressure you to move faster. We're going to give you the real deal. That 15% down in 2028 sounds amazing, but what is your crystal ball telling you is going to happen between now and then?
Because my crystal ball, much that can happen between now and then. So
my crystal ball is maybe foggy, but she's been pretty on point for the last several years, and that on pointness tells me that we should get you in sooner, and there may be something to be had sooner. So plus you're in town now, bro. Why are we not talking? Scan the code. Schedule a call. I will be upset if you don't. I'm going to be upset. That's it. Corrales Cruiser, is there a time frame for you to gift money and close? If I give my niece money into her bank account and she wants to say wait 6 months, does that the bank treat it that way as a gift, or is it treated like her money?
So so any money, so a gift is something that so if you let's say you put the money in your niece's account right now, and niece doesn't really go looking and buy a house, right? For 6 months. After that money sits in her bank account 60 days, it's now hers. So then it's no longer. Yeah. So you don't have to provide any of the gift information. 60 days means it's seasoned.
Love that. It's called seasoned. They do a little, what's that guy the Salt Bay guy throws the salt. It's Salt Bay seasoned. It's her money. It's no longer anything but hers. Okay, Isaiah says, another great live question. Amber, can you explain points for an interest rate buy down? How many points per 1% of interest to buy down the rate if at a given time? Ooh, good loaded question. So
sometimes people get with points. So when we say 1 point, that means 1% of the loan. So if it's a $300,000 loan, 1 point is $3,000. So 1%. Typically, so it depends on the spread that day, to be quite honest with you. But so if you buy 1% to buy your rate down, a lot of times that's a quarter. Sometimes the spread that day might be a little bit better. Sometimes might be a little bit worse than that. But average is usually about 0.25%. So do you like that I put our long disclaimer legalese at the bottom here while you're talking? Yeah, I love it. So 1% bought is like you paying $3,000 to buy your rate down 0.25% lower than what it would be without the points. Did that make sense? Say that one more time. So paying 1% extra in closing costs would get your rate down 0.25% more than what the going rate at that day is. That makes sense to me. Isaiah, let us know if it made sense to you. Great way to explain it. Thank you. We should definitely go live and talk a little bit more deeply about that. I think we should just do not only an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, kind of like all the basics of lending. We've done those, but it's been a minute. It's been about 5-6 years. But I think us just maybe doing looking at a loan estimate, maybe looking through a loan estimate and talking through what each thing means. Would you be open to doing that, Amber? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Love it. When am I not trying to talk about stuff? I mean, I kind of try to make it fun for you. Anyway. Oh my goodness. This is so amazing. Everybody's been so great. Corrales Cruiser says Scotch 80s. Scotch 80s is one of my favorite vintage Vegas neighborhoods. And that's a comment back for, who was it? Who said that? Tim Belante wanted to know about vintage Vegas neighborhoods. I've got some stuff on my channel regarding vintage Vegas neighborhoods. And your girl just sold a vintage Vegas home in, I'm going to cry if I even talk about it. It's my house. It's my house someday. Just sold this to a client who
I cannot name names, but is a known person in the world of celebrity. And so I'm going to see if he'll let me do a video of the house prior to him moving in and just like showcase to you guys what's possible in these dope ass neighborhoods that you wouldn't even know exist, because it's amazing. I'm going to cry. He bought my house. It's amazing. All right, a couple things here. Great information, Leolo, Amber, and Lacey. Looking forward to scouting out neighborhoods when I visit the first week of September. Leolo, have we talked?
I love it.
Have we talked? If we haven't talked, please just get a call with me before that trip. I've got some tools I can share with you. I can never tell with YouTube names versus your real name if it's actually who I know it is. So thank you for that. I love the warm welcome. If it happens faster, I'm all for it. To be real, I'm just saying by 2028, no later, Mason is going to own a home. I love that, Mason.
Love it. Love it.
Sue J, my sweet Sue. I met up with Sue at the Park MGM pool for a meet and greet. She's wanting to chat about putting some money into the Las Vegas market. And she still has my sunglasses, my favorite sunglasses. I left them behind and she's coming back. Sue, text me. I would love to find out when you're going to be in town so we can have some cocktails, my friend. You would love Sue. Amber, we should go to lunch with Sue. She's amazing. She's a doll.
Love it. Let's do it.
Corrales says, I enjoyed your Water Street walk the other day. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing a ton, again, Monday through Friday, every day this month, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be doing live streams. It is a lot, guys. I'm just being very real. With normal life stuff, it is a lot, but I'm doing it. I'm committed. So yeah, thank you for watching my walks on Water Street. That was a little bit of an impromptu 100 and something degree weather experience for me. Was dehydrated for 2 days afterward, but I'm going to be doing more of that. And I'm going to be doing possibly a new home tour, possibly a vintage Vegas walk around. That's right, Tim, and a couple of other things. So stay tuned. Isaiah said it does make more sense. Going to look at new builds tomorrow. Shout out to Ursula. Ursula, that's right. Thank you so much, Isaiah. Ursula is one of my showing agents on the team. She is the boots on the ground. She's making appointments. She's making sure you're registered with those builders so that you don't get taken advantage of. And let's see here. Mauzavala 33D, great name. Good listening. Or Google is listening to me. Been looking at Las Vegas. I love that you're here and thank you for joining us. I'm super excited. Oh, Leolo says we have talked in the past. Yes, shoot me a text. Yes, shoot me a text or just click the link right here, the scan me in that corner. Just set up a new a conversation with me, Leolo. I have some stuff I want to share with you before your trip. I have a self-guided city tour. I want to give you some guidance, and I want to just give you a virtual hug for being such a great and active participant on these awesome live streams. Amber.
What's up?
This was supposed to be a 20, 30-minute live. We've been on an hour.
Can you tell I'm like wearing down?
No, ma'am. And we're gaining momentum. There's more people here now than ever. If you've been watching this live, thank you. Thank you for the great questions. This is the best Q&A we've ever done out of those comments ever. Yes, I think ever. That was juicy. Amber, I love you. Go see your son. I know he's in town. Thank you for giving us your first hour of your evening. I love you so much. Thank you to everybody watching. If you want to meet with me or Amber to discuss anything related to moving to Vegas or investing in Vegas, there is a QR code right above Amber's beautiful head there. It's time to talk, my friends.
Right
I don't
here,
give a crap what you think. It's time to talk. Amber, final words.
Look, if you're looking to move today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now, give us a call. We want to get you started. That game plan is where it's at. Let's figure out your game plan personally.
We listen, we don't judge, we don't pressure, we don't do anything other than make this fun and make this easy and stress-free. So we hope you can join us in that process. Love you guys so much.